Thanks everyone for joining. Really excited to be here and to host this session where we are going to be hearing from Jenny about SuperLooper. Hopefully some of you have received, maybe even had a chance to read the brief in advance today. If you have, fabulous. If you haven't, don't worry about it, because we're going to start. Probably got about sort of 10-15 minutes where we'll start with just a bit of a Q&A. Sorry, just a bit of an intro, and I'll just be talking to Jenny just to get a little bit of background. If you want to comment as we go in the chat, please do, and then we'll throw it open to some Q&A. But it is also really important that we actually get some sort of ideas and some tangible kind of actions. So as we get towards the end of the session, I will definitely be kind of playing well, hopefully not bad cop, but certainly directional cop, let's put it that way, to make sure that we get to some specifics that that Jenny can do. By way of context, so my name is Simon. I am the founder and director of a marketing consultancy called The Forge. My sort of context, behind sort of MarketingKind and really why I'm here today is in 2019, I spent a year. I set myself the challenge of spending a year not buying anything new. I spoke about it recently in a previous session, and it's very interesting because whenever I tell anyone, I always get asked two questions. The first question I always get asked is, what did you miss? And the second question I always get asked is, what did you buy on the 1st of January 2020? And the problem with those two questions is that they are founded in an inherent belief that buying secondhand, not buying new, is somehow a compromise, something that is endured rather than enjoyed, something that is necessary, something that's an act of deprivation. And my experience of going through it is actually nothing is further than the truth. It's a story of assumed negatives, which actually is a story of discovered positives. And there are so many reasons why I think it is so exciting and so interesting. But one of the challenges, I believe, is that the dominance of the new narrative is so established across all societies. As marketers, we've been telling people this for 50, 60, 70 years, that not just consumption makes you successful, but new consumption makes you successful. And I'm very keen and enthused in trying to change that narrative. And that's why I'm so utterly delighted to welcome Jenny today, because as Jenny will tell us, this is absolutely kind of at the heart of SuperLooper and their mission. So Jenny, rather than me continue to speak and wang on about stuff, let me hand over to you. Would you just start by perhaps just giving a little bit of an intro to yourself and kind of what SuperLooper is, and then we'll take it from there.
Yeah, and thank you very, very much, everybody, for being here. I'm absolutely so thrilled about it. So yes, I've always been a bit in fashion and a bit in sort of sustainability sort of thinking. I was just saying that at college for my degree back in the 80s, I did these shirts, which is chopping up old shirts, putting them back together again. So it's kind of upcycling before it was really that phrase is coined. And then about 10 years ago, I set up Supernatural, which was a baby and children's clothing company using organic cotton, but also using things like modal, which is made out of beech trees, and bamboo, trying to sort of give alternatives to cotton, because cotton takes up too much water and land, whether it's organic or not. So I did that for a while, and then 2017 I started to think, I need to change this. This just doesn't feel right at all. Found out about the circular economy, which completely made sense, and I think from then on, I was given a purpose in my head, so and I also learned as well that having purpose is the thing that really does get you up in the morning and makes life worth living. So then I found out from Hubbub that there's 183 million items of outgrown baby clothes just sitting in UK cupboards alone, kind of thing. So that's just in the UK. I mean, I'm in America at the moment, and I can't even imagine how many there must be here. So yeah, all these lovely clothes, and and the realization that I was part of that, because although my kids are in their teens and 20s, I still have clothes that I've put away thinking, oh, I don't want to get rid of that, or, you know, maybe I'll pass that on, or something. And my kids actually don't look like they're going to be having kids for quite a while, and the whole thing's crazy. So I just thought, right, got to do something about this. You know, heard about a company in Denmark called Vigor, who were renting baby clothes rather than selling them. I thought that's a great idea. Did lots of focus groups in Brighton around this idea. Found out that people, you know, were up for the idea of renting. They were already in Brighton, that there were quite a few secondhand, you know, they're fans of secondhand. So it's a good place to start it. And then I thought, well, where am I going to get my stock from? And first of all, I was thinking, oh, I suppose I would get wholesale or maybe end of line stuff and things like that. And that was proving quite difficult. And anyway, I wouldn't have been able to afford the wholesale stuff. And then people started saying to me, I've got a great big bag of clothes, you know, which I've had for ages. I'd love to clear them out. Really lovely clothes. They've hardly been worn. I'll send them to you. So before I knew it, I'd got quite an extensive library now of really lovely clothes that have hardly been worn. So that made sense. And you know, we're a not-for-profit, so it makes sense that people want to support us, and we do get a lot of support from people sending stuff in. We now have something called Return and Earn, which is where brands like Little Green Radicals, their customers send us their outgrown clothes in return for a money off voucher from their next spend with the brand. We've got lots of stuff. What we need now is customers.
Fantastic.
Everybody thinks it's a great idea, but getting them to sign up, that's a different thing.
Brilliant. And we're going to focus on that a lot this afternoon. But before we do, just talk us briefly through the business model. So as a user, talk me through what's the sign up process, what am I buying and what am I getting?
Yeah, well, we've just changed actually, because at first we had this big library full of clothes, and you could choose individually, because that's kind of what the focus groups have said. They wanted to choose things individually. But actually what we learned was that was just a very, very clunky way of doing things, and young parents they just don't have the time to do that, and they don't want to do that. And anyway, now they're really used to the idea of bundles, you know, getting things in bundles, sort of curated and sent to them. So we've been toying with that bundle idea for ages, but didn't have a way of doing it, because the clothes that we have, there's every type of clothing, you know, there's anything from a baby grow to a jacket, and everything in between. So how can you curate what people want out of all of that, and how do you know what the style is? But now there's, I mean, you'll all know it, I'm sure, but it was quite new to me, something called Typeform, which is just a really great, it's like Google Form, only much better, and you can put photos in it, and it just looks really good. So it's kind of like technology kind of caught up with us a bit, really. So now when you sign up, you get a type form, and it's about your style preferences. So say, like, one of the questions is, we've got photos of different styles, so, you know, denim-y, preppy, festival-y, you know, that kind of thing. So choose which of these styles suit you, and then we ask them about their colors that they like and don't like, and they can put little notes of, you know, I really don't like slogans, or, you know, whatever. And then every month they'll get another smaller type form, which asks them, what do you actually need this month? So, you know, yes, I really want some jeans, I want a jacket, and I want some shorts this month, you know. So that kind of informs what we're going to put into their order. One of the problems that people in this space have is that clothes are in different condition, you know. So some of them are very, very nicely loved, and some of them are almost brand new. So what do you do about that? So what we've done is we've got two different offers, if you like. One is called Playtime. So that includes garments that are in a condition of, you know, they have been worn quite a bit, but they're great for playing in, and every day. which just means that they're just in great condition kind of thing. Or we've got smarty pants, which is the everyday kind of clothes plus premium clothes that have hardly been worn. So a lot of our Little Green Radicals stuff and Toby Tiger and things like that we get from the Return and Earn go in there.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And it's fair to say that this new approach is just launching, is just sort of getting out there at the moment.
Just last weekend, yeah. Just last weekend, yeah.
So for the purpose of everyone on the call, in terms of the sort of the product and that probably in terms of the sort of the bundles and the kind of product solution, that's not the focus for today. You need to let that play out, see what the reaction is from the community. So that's not something we want to spend time on today. Instead, it's much more the story, the narrative, how we tell that proposition of what SuperLooper is about. Is that right?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, how do we make it the customer's own thing? You know, I was saying to you yesterday that I want them to feel like that they own this. You know, this is for them. It is totally for them. It's for all of us kind of thing, but it's for them. So how can we get them to feel this is my thing and I'm proud of it and I want to shout about it kind of thing, you know? And like you were saying yesterday, how do we get them to think, well, why haven't I been doing this forever? You know, it's crazy.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
So there's a lovely video you put together, which I'll play in a couple of minutes. Hopefully, that fingers crossed the IT will work and you'll be able to hear it. But if you can't, don't worry about it because it's got subtitles. So we'll kind of finish the little sort of intro on that. But Jenny, talk to us a little bit about what you feel you have learnt over the life so far of SuperLooper in terms of why people are signing up, why they are continuing to come back. So what you know, is there a difference between what brings someone in and what makes someone return month on month on month? Equally, any feedback that you've had around things you've tried that have either worked incredibly well and been sort of quite compelling messages, or equally some things you've tried and for whatever reason they haven't quite landed yet with your audience. What are some of your learnings?
Yeah, the learnings, oh my goodness. Sorry, could you say the beginning bit of the question? Just so to go, yeah.
Sure, no worries. It's just anything that you have learned so far, perhaps about why people are signing up in the first place. Let's start with that. What tends to be the reason why people are coming to SuperLooper in the first place?
Yeah, it's an interesting one because I think in the first place, a lot of them definitely are attracted to the sustainability story, but I don't think that that's why they are signing up. Because really what they want is they want it to be easy and convenient and affordable. I really think that those are, however much we might like to sort of think that everybody's into sustainability, those are the key things, and that's fair enough. So that's why we've changed the model, because we've realized that we're just sort of like fighting against the tide if we're trying to just think that people are going to sign up because it's a nice idea. That's not going to happen. They also really like nice clothes. A lot of them, they actually really do like nice clothes. So that's important. It's not just any old clothes. These are lovely clothes. One of the things that I think is interesting between us and our competitors, if you like competitors, is that they mainly rent out stuff that they've got in brand new. So it's a very, very lovely sell. It's a great sell for them. They've got a 30 quid baby grow, whatever, might cost 30 quid. The parent only wants it for a month, 2 at the most, and they pay 3 quid a month for that. So that is a total no-brainer. Whereas our things are second-hand to start off with, kind of thing. So it's a little bit more of a difficult sell, that, although it shouldn't be, because actually a lot of probably the competitors' things will be second-hand as well, because they're only new ones. So this is why I love what you talk about, and what you're just exploring, is the whole second-hand market and how to get that as what's she called? The lady that does Rummage, Jo Salter. She talks about, you know, secondhand first, and it's how to get that secondhand first thing
Lovely.
going.
One of the things I was struck by reading your testimonials was just the sheer breadth of positive different reasons why people, you know, on those reviews that you were doing. So, you know, we had absolutely stuff about sustainability, absolutely stuff about saving money, but experimenting with different styles.
Yeah.
For instance, kind of comes through. Talk to me a little bit about that. You know, do you think there are a multitude of reasons why people are coming in and finding these different benefits in there? Or do you think actually that those people are kind of the outliers, and for 80% of people it is just save money, convenient, sustainable? I don't know.
I think that thing about trying out new styles, colours, brands that they wouldn't have even either heard of or felt that they had access to. I think that's a real thing. It's because that keeps on coming up, and that really, you know, makes me very happy to read those sort of comments. But yeah, I mean, you're right. There are all sorts of reasons, and I think that these are what do you call it? What's your you've got a really nice term.
I talk about it's a story of assumed negatives that is actually a story of discovered positives. Yes.
So I think that those things are part of the discovered positives, and I think also that there are other discovered positives which are around making you feel better. You know, I really do think that you know, because I think if you're reusing secondhand clothes, you know that you're doing something good. So I think those kind of well-being feelings are other discovered positives.
Well, I'm sure there are loads of questions from everyone that will be piling in, but I'm going to finish just this section here just by sharing a little video that Jenny and your creative team, maybe that's too grown, but yeah, anyway, have put together, and then what we'll do is, well, I'll play that. I do hope the sound works. If it doesn't, as I say, there are subtitles, so you should be able to follow along pretty easily.